Great.
Thank you.
And if you're comfortable, I'm comfortable too.
Thanks for doing this, yeah.
Oh no, 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 not at all. A lot of women around Singapore and in the world are are amazed by your valor. I must say
You
that
should read about my case.
yes, I did. I read about your case.
5 years
and
ago.
yes, it's amazing and it's challenging.
I fought for 5 years.
I know what it's like to be in the courtroom. I tell you, 5 years is no mean feat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is truly inspiring,
Oh, thank you.
I must say.
And I just carry on with life. Actually, that one actually drive me to work even harder for my skincare.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I will introduce you to the camera. You look at the camera. I will introduce you, and after that, when I does my short introduction, I'll just turn to you and we can talk, just
Okay.
like last time, great friends. And then I will present you a surprise. I must say that I love your cosmetics.
Oh, thank you.
I begin to appreciate it. It's actually improved my complexion actually.
That's great. I think you look a bit fairer.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You ready? I'm ready.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. Hi, welcome to the National Quiz Choice Online News and welcome to the Stienberg Review. I'm Robin Stienberg and welcome to my show again. And today we have a very special guest next to me, and that is none other than the beautiful Miss Georgia Lee. Miss Georgia Lee is not just a miss, she's actually a doctor in practice, and she has been doing her skincare practice for a while now, and she has owned a brand known as Dr. GL, if I'm not mistaken. And she's going to talk more about her life, her experience, her great taste for fashion here in Southeast Asia and Asia as well. Dr. Georgia, thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, I heard so much about you that I must meet you in person. And by the way, our readers, online, has voted you your brand for the best new boutique cosmetic product range,
Wow.
in Southeast Asia, and it's for the entire year in 2013, and so we are honored to have your product to be honored in our portfolio.
Thank you so much.
So
Thank
that
you.
this is something that we
Thank
want you to
you.
have. We hope to. Sorry, we couldn't get it framed on time,
Oh, no,
but
don't worry. Thank
but
you.
we thought that you would have your preferred taste of the frames. But Dr. Georgia, please tell us more about how you first began your passion for cosmetics, and your practice, for skincare, and also the challenges that you face, how it happened with this court case that lasted for 5 years. You survived for 5 years and you won. Folks, you must hear her story, how she overcome the odds, for the last 5 years. Georgia, please tell us the story.
Okay. Well, actually, my life is very simple. I'm just a girl who loves to work, and I'm very blessed to be able to find something that I love to do, and I happen to be, I think, pretty good at it. I know I wanted to be a doctor since I was 8 years old. I only know very single-mindedly I want to be a doctor, and I work towards that goal. So all along through my school days, I study very hard, because I always believe in life, if you work hard, there are certain things that is almost a guarantee. Unlike love, sometimes love, if you don't work hard, you may not guarantee, that it will be reciprocated. So after I graduated in '93, I did my rotation in the hospital, and I set up my own practice in '99, doing more well-being kind of practice, screening and skincare. And I quickly discovered that I actually has maybe a little gift in identifying the treatments that is going to be trendy soon. And because I guess the important is to put yourself in the patient's shoes and tell yourself what would you want if you're in their shoes, and that will help you to pick up the treatments that will help the patients. So in 2004, I actually took some antibiotics, which gave me a very bad drug eruption. It's called fixed drug eruption. This kind of drug eruption is unlike the usual kind where you have rashes all over the body. You have a fixed area on the face or in other parts of the body, and when it recovers, it gets a very bad kind of pigmentation. And I had that on the right side of my face. So for 1 year, I didn't go out socially. It was very bad, and because my skin was so sensitive, I couldn't use the product that's already in the market. It burns my skin. So I started compounding my own cream. And although the result is a lot slower than the strong cream, which I couldn't take, but it went away almost 99% away in 6 months. I still have a little bit above my upper lip. So sometimes when I'm stressed, it turns dark on the upper lip. That actually piqued my interest in skincare development. So I started understanding the skincare, looking to understanding the skincare that my patients use. So from seeing about 10,000 patients a year, since 2004, I've been understanding, asking them about what skincare they use, and I understand about the ingredients. So over time, you just become a bit more apt in realizing what ingredient is good for people and what is not, and what ingredient suits what kind of weather. So I started developing a skincare line for my actually in-house patients. But in 2009, we were very lucky. Robinsons approached us, and they offered us a retail space. That's why we quickly understand that to enter into the retail market, we have to rebrand our skincare. Originally, it was called Dr. Georgia Lee. It's very homemade. So we got a very reputable designer, TC's and John Clare from New York, help us with the rebranding exercise, which took 18 months. I would say that funny you should talk about this today, because I was just away for a trade show, and when people come to our booth and tell us how impressed they are with the product, the way it's designed, the ingredients it's put in, it touched me a lot, because there's so much sweat and blood and tears that went into that bottle of goodness. The time away from my loved ones, the 4 hours of sleep every day for the last, I couldn't remember how many years ago. Yeah, but I think it's all worth it. So the next aim, I guess, is to globalize the business. I aim very high. I'm very ambitious. So I never believe in stopping doing something halfway through. I have to go all the way.
So you're going to franchise it?
I'm going to franchise it, and I'm going to look for distributors to globalize the brand. In fact, from this trade show, we have 157 interested parties to want to bring this skincare. So now the next stage of work is actually very tough. It's even more tough than developing a skincare, because it's something that is not in my comfort zone.
Sounds like United Nations.
Yeah, so we have to, I guess, do due diligence on those companies that's interested, registration, going to different markets, and to plan, okay, which market to go in first. So I hope to be able to grow a brand that can make Singapore proud, and I hope that eventually this brand will outlast me. That's what I aim for.
Wow. Outlast.
Outlast me, yes. I take inspirations from Coco Chanel. She's sometimes you just have to believe in yourself, think out of the box, and sometimes whatever your idea presents, it may not be accepted among your contemporaries, but history will always teach us. Yeah.
Well, I think my viewers actually feel that you're the next Coco Chanel in Asia, I think.
I hope so.
Viewers, really. I mean, I have a number of readers who told me, Dr. Georgia Lee, seems to be the next Coco Chanel of Asia. What do you think? And I thought to myself, proven the fact that I tried her product, Dr. GL, really works. And folks, please look up for her website and place an order for her skincare products that will suit your needs. And please don't take my word for it, try it. And Dr. Georgia, tell us about your experience when you were 8 years old. What was the defining moment that you saw that convicted you that you should be a doctor for life?
I guess maybe I do not know, it's from, I think, various stimulus from visiting a doctor and seeing how much, sometimes when you're very sick, and sometimes it's just a healing hand touching a sick person, and it just makes somebody feel better already. And also maybe from watching TV, I was thinking, wow, doctors are so fantastic, they can do so much things.
Wow, so the media do play a important role.
It does, okay.
Wow.
And I would guess, in my role, although many people may think that doing aesthetic treatment or beauty is sometimes frivolous, but I would say that we do help a lot of people also, like pigmentations that doesn't go away, or acne scars. And sometimes It's just to listen to a patient. And I would guess a lot of my patients eventually actually become very good friends. So sometimes as a doctor, we not only look at one aspect, it is actually healing somebody in totality, not only about skin. To understand, like for example, some of my patients want good skin, but they also may need some grooming advice. So sometimes I'll give them my 2 cents or connect them with the right people that maybe can help them a little bit. Yeah, I always believe it is about a package. Everything is a package.
So is that right? I heard that you are also happen to be a fashion connoisseur.
I'm learning, okay. I'm just very amazed, it's just like, in human beings we have 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth. And we can all look so different. And just like, a piece of fabric, it's quite amazing what the human mind can do in terms of creativity. They can create so many different looks from one concept. And it's just so amazing. I can never run out of things I want to wear or want to admire. And sometimes when I look at our creation, I imagine the person, what was he thinking, or how can he come at such a fantastic or crazy creation? Yeah.
Wow. Now, I must say that many also would like to ask about your rebranding exercise. That took almost months, to
18 months.
18 months to be really successful. What kind of processes that was involved in rebranding your products? Because there are many of those entrepreneurs out there who are trying to rebrand, and like you have successfully done so. What is your key success and the processes involved in rebranding? Could you share with us on that?
I think important thing is sometimes to know what you want, and also it's a marriage of knowing what you want and also getting expertise advice. Like for me, I know that I wanted the product to be green because green is it signifies life.
Oh really?
Yes, I think so. It signifies life, and it's one of my favorite color. And being Asian, we like green, emerald, jade a lot. Okay, this is maybe one element. And my first memory in my entire life is the color green. I remember I couldn't speak yet, but I only remember the color green. And it was looking at a plant. And I know that I want the bottle to be square because the four sides of square is totally balanced. So I believe sometimes in life we must try to seek for balance, although it's not always possible. So I went to John Clan from New York, introduced me to Thesis Chan. And to be honest, the first time I approached him, he turned down the offer to rebrand my product.
Really?
Yeah, he turned down because he Googled me and he think that this is only a party girl. I don't think I can, he feared that from what he reads on media, I'm just a party girl who likes clothes. So I actually called him up for a meeting. I told him that I want to meet you not because I'm the pursuit to do the rebranding for me, but I want you to explain to me why you don't want to do it, so that if it's a flaw in terms of my character or my demeanor, I want to improve myself. So it spent about an hour talking. I remember it was in sandwiches. Then after that, at the end of the thing, he just decided he's going to help me. I was so over the moon. But before that, I actually told him very straightforward that I also have impending cases against me. It was the ongoing legal case. You have to think carefully if you want to take on me, because if it doesn't turn out the right way, I don't like to affect you also. So people who work with me over the last 5 years, I was very upfront with them. I told them what I'm going through. So I will respect it if you don't want to be associated with me. And all the more he wanted to help me, so I'm really very indebted to him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So did you cry when he said
Yes,
yes?
of course. Of course.
Wow. It was a very moving moment, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And so now, when you proceed with your rebranding exercise that lasted for 18 months, what was the perception of the public, when they first saw your product that's been rebranded? Was it something different from the old brand?
Yes.
And how do you see the difference between the old and the new now?
I think the old signifies my humble beginning, and the new is, I guess, is I don't have much choice. To go into retail is a very brutal market. You have to look the part. It's all about sometimes the appearance is very important. I also understand if there's a very good branding. If the product doesn't do what it's supposed to do, it will not stand the test of time. So we spend actually a lot of years actually building the interior, which is actually the product itself, before we do the packaging. Yeah.
Now, you fought the case for 5 years, bravely, alone, all by yourself.
I got a lot of friends.
Yes, of course. I mean, you have friends, but really, you had to stand alone in the courtroom, you know, to convince the judge that you're innocent. Now, could you tell us, now that the case is over and you've won, if you don't mind, share with our viewers the first time that you were sued for this case, how you felt it, and then the process that you went through, and what took you the courage to believe that you could win this case?
Actually, it is not really a court kind of case. It is more like a medical counsel kind of hearing. So the first time I received the letter, I was of course very shocked. And the most important thing is I took time. I actually got away for a while. The important thing is to take time to ask myself, am I really guilty? Because if I am guilty, then I will admit that I'm wrong. So I think the first part is getting to that part. So once you understand where your stance is and you believe in yourself, then I guess it's, you have to go all the way to fight for your belief. And it's the encouragement from patients or friends. I think it was quite amazing. Yeah, and this is, I'm just very say that I'm very blessed by the whole outcome with the High Court and also the medical counselor being very gracious to set aside. Yeah, I must say that there is graciousness also in the outcome, and it is not only all my effort. Yes.
So, but you did not counter-sue against those people who sued you? Oh, interesting. No,
I want to move on with life. Actually, interestingly, my son at the time was 9 years old when the letter first came. He did ask me about your suggestion. So, is it possible if they are proven wrong? I just get back. I was quite shocked that a 9-year-old could actually make this kind of comments. Yeah, but I guess there's so many things, and I'm really halfway through my life journey. I got so many more exciting things to do, so I want to live the rest of my life in a very positive manner.
And your 2 sons that you have support you all the way?
Yes.
Wow.
That's very important.
And how did they get through the case during those 5 years?
Actually,
both of your sons are now teenagers now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, from what I understand. And so
I actually had to sit them down and my goddaughters down to explain to them that what is going to happen, and there will be some media publicity, and people may know that they are related to me. So I guess they have to be brave. So I told them that you may be ridiculed, people may say things that may not be so nice to you. You will know who your friends are, who your friends aren't, but this is part of life, and you have to just accept it. I think my boys did phenomenally well. They are so brave.
now, mind if I ask you? I know that being a mother of 2 grown sons has not been very easy for you, and for most mothers who may be sitting in the same situation as yourself. I mean, you're not mistaken, you're a single mother. Somehow.
I have a very supportive husband.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not been very easy. But how does a husband feel about this whole thing?
Oh, I think he's quite an amazing man. He's the strong, silent type of man. I guess very intelligent, and I'm a very sociable kind of person. He's also sociable, but in his very quiet way. So we are actually quite different but
is he prepared to go through with you?
Yes, it's amazing.
So even if you were to be convicted, he is prepared to support you in any way you can.
Yes. From this, I know that he will look after me very well.
Even your 2 sons.
Yes.
So folks, you've got to be aware that having a support husband or wife is important.
Yes.
Really. And from judging from a great entrepreneur like herself, Dr. Georgia, will once again encourage us all more in the coming future. You know, Dr. Georgia, tell us, could you give us some 3 key points of your success in life? You know, I know that you've gone through for the last 5 years of a lawsuit and everything else, and your business, you know, that you've run that has actually persuaded you to move on strongly. What would be the 3 key encouragement for the women out there who can learn from you on how to face life, you know, as well as running the business, because you have to try to have a family balanced work life, like the government has been talking about it, you know, here in Singapore and in also other parts of Asia too. How do you manage to do that?
I guess I think important thing is you must believe in yourself. Very important. And hard work will never fail you. And to believe in yourself in the sense, sometimes, you know, there are a lot of well-meaning advice around you. It's better to make your own mistake rather than to take advice and make other people's mistake. I'd rather do that sometimes. Yeah. And there's no real balance in life. Although my bottle is square, but there is no real balance. You cannot be the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect business person, or the perfect friend. Something has to give. So my philosophy is at that moment, with whatever I'm doing, I give my 100% at that moment. So like now, when I'm here, I'm not thinking about the amount of emails I do, go and clear all the work that I do, that is top, and or the meetings that I have after this. I give my 100% review. And let's say if I'm with my patient, I give my patient 100%. I won't care about what's happening outside that room. I think that's important. You give 100%. But of course, among all this, there's also priority. So you know like what you have to. If something where you have to choose, you will know. You must be very clear in your mind what you have to choose. Yeah. So I guess hard work, believing yourself, in making your own mistake is rather better than your own mistake, and also giving your best at that moment.
Now, what's next for your brand and your practice, you know, moving forward with Dr. GL? Where are you going to go for the next 5 years? And do you foresee the role of women changing, you know, in Asia, like yourself? You know, do you think that more women are beginning to claim confidence and able to actually penetrate the market as well as the men?
I guess there are different roles for both men and women. I think, forgive me if I may offend some men, but I think ladies are very good multitaskers. Whereas men, I think they tend to be very focused and can do something really very well. So maybe certain kind of industry may be good for women, but something that will need something to a person that oversees a little bit of everything. So I guess the ladies who are able to step up more nowadays is because it is because of the support of their other half in the family. Without a husband support or family support, sometimes it's very meaningless. I feel it's sometimes, but unless you know, I have some friends who find that their life is all about is work and that's their life, and that is cool enough with me also. But I feel for a woman to be able to step up like that takes a man that is very evolved. Okay, in terms of the work environment, who understands, who treats women as more or less an equal, and a supportive man at home, either may be a father, a brother, or husband, to support that woman. Yeah, so the man is actually key role in helping a woman being able to express herself. Yes.
Great. Now, the next step that Dr. GL is going, are you moving towards Asia markets, or are you going to move towards the United States and Europe and the Middle East?
I would guess the natural climate for me will be Asia, but of course I will never say no to opportunity. So I like to seize the moment. So if there's opportunity in the West, I would never say no. But I always think in life is about challenging yourself. I would never imagine 12 years ago or 13 years ago that I can come out for skincare. And so dream big.
So back in 12 years ago or more, what were the challenges back then that you had to face when you first started out? Was it because your brand was new, or was it because your practice is new and unconventional, or was it because you know, you had to start from scratch and you had to raise funds?
I think from then before, I guess it is more that the concept of all this, the treatment is new, the concept is new. So I have nobody to learn from here. So I spent a lot of my early years traveling around the world to learn from experts. And I always feel that if you're willing to put yourself down there to learn, and you're humble enough, and you're hardworking enough, the mentors will always teach you. The best way to learn is to be humble and understand. At this moment, I'm still learning. And now my teachers are actually my patients.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So whenever I do certain treatments, they will give me feedback, maybe good or not good, and I'll seek to improve myself. So let's say if I think I'm really very good, and I block off all kinds of advice, especially for my patients who are the greatest teachers, I will never grow. So from patients' feedback, you will learn on how to improve and make it more comfortable, that I'll give an even better result. Yeah.
Now that you have overcome those odds, and moving forward right now, moving into the great market and more in a very ambitious way, what do you think the kind of challenges that you're going to face now that even though you have a lot of inquiries from those individuals and so forth? Is the challenge of meeting the demand for your brand got to do with having to invest more in the brand itself globally, or is it got to do with maintaining the quality of the brand? Because I know that you're very particular about quality.
Yes.
And since you said that you have 157 inquiries, that's sounds like United Nations. That's I mean, because I had 156 countries watching our show every day, and so it is a very uphill task. So how do you balance between quality and quantity?
I think quality will always be number one. So if I have to grow a bit slower, I do not mind. And I guess the challenge is maintaining the quality. That's number one. And number two is finding the right partners to go in with. There may be maybe 10 maybe potentials who can promise me a lot of things that increase the sales. But let's say if they are not right partners in the long term, I'd rather take one and go small. Important things, I want to enjoy the whole process. Yeah.
So what kind of criteria do you look for a partner or a distributor in any country in the world?
I guess somebody who has passion, that's actually number one, has experience in this field and understand, and not jaded with the very established brands, and they are keen to help a new brand with potential to grow. I think that's important, passion and experience. And I'm still very old-fashioned in the way I do business.
Oh,
I
yeah?
believe in the gentleman's handshake. So there are over the years.
No contracts?
There are contracts, but
Okay.
sometimes, like for example, there are a few instances where I already promised verbally to somebody, and later a better deal came along. I will always honor the first verbal contract I had, and turn up, because I feel that it's very important to be able to live yourself. At the end of the day, there may be other opportunity, but I don't think I can live with myself disappointing somebody for my own personal gains. Yeah, I feel the gentleman's handshake is very important.
Oh yes, I missed that actually.
Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, and we have one other question, and that is, what is the next trend for anesthetics? Because a lot of people are wondering, what's the next big thing, the in thing, for this industry, and is there a big difference between the past and the present, and the future?
I guess the trend has been creeping in all these last few years. It is non-invasive. Okay, so like now sometimes now there are devices that can even give you body contouring without the liposuction. But of course the result may not be as good, but we're getting there. So it's not invasive, minimal downtime, and now I believe in the next few years the trend will be towards enhancement and not augmenting too much. Now you see the trends of people going for a nose job, doing cheek implants, doing double eyelid. But I think in the next few years it will be more subtle. It will go towards back to basics, enhancing the features and keeping what you have, stay good, look good. I think there's natural beauty in all of us. We should all learn to admire each other's unique point, rather than to come up from a single mold.
Wow. So that will be the next trend then.
Yes.
Okay. So folks, please do join me thanking Dr. Georgia Lee for joining us here in this show. And please don't forget to log on to our website and look out for Dr. GL products for cosmetics and more to come, and news as well. So once again, thank you for joining me here at the National Critics' Choice, the Stienberg Review. I'm Robin Stienberg. Have a great day here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, that's okay.
Thank you so much.
It's okay. It's my job.
Yeah.
I
Will you be going for the tour week?
think so.